Welcome to the first ever episode of the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast in the month of March.
Wow,
First
happy
one in
March.
First
Happy
one in
March.
But overall, I guess you can call this one episode 16.
I guess.
However you fancy. But yeah, happy March. We made it this far. They didn't think we'd do it.
Nope, no one thought. Not me, not you, not anyone.
Everyone thought we'd get past Valentine's Day. We'd get,
Love Day.
February is the shortest month of the year.
It is. It's
they're like, oh, they're going to do February.
It's an easy month. Everyone gets through February.
March, however.
But March is a big month.
And we're here. WrestleMania season is in full swing. We got Mania at the top of the month. Ooh. We're going to do some AEW Revolution predictions probably in the second half of the show. We didn't forget that. And yeah, but I think most importantly, Dante, how's your March starting out? How was the end of your February?
End of February was great, and beginning of March was even better. You know why? Because we woke up this morning to see we had 40,000 subscribers on our YouTube. Thank you guys so much.
40K.
It's just crazy to see the growth that this channel that we've seen over the last few months, especially. I mean, we've surpassed our old channel by a few thousand now. So we have a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces as well, but we're very happy that, we're back in full swing. You guys are loving the content. We hope to continue to put out content you guys enjoy, and keep rolling. We love you guys. We appreciate you.
It is crazy to see that, like, because I see all the analytics and we see all the analytics, and it's crazy to see, like, we jumped from like 37,000 to 40,000.
Quick, dude.
Fast.
I feel like just the other day we were talking about, we just matched the total, and we're already past it by 3,000. Nuts.
You can even see there's a bit. Look at this jump.
Wow,
bro. There's a big jump.
Damn.
It was like maybe like a week or two ago. I think it looks like we gained like a couple thousand
just in a
3
day span.
In a handful of days.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
And the podcast number. I mean, we don't gotta spend a lot of time being like, we are doing so good. We are doing so good.
It's more of it's an appreciation thing.
But the podcast numbers are the best they've ever been. Like, this is the first time we're hitting like 17,000, 20,000 on some episodes.
I still can't believe people care enough about our opinions to listen to a full podcast. I mean, hey, if you like it, you like it. I appreciate you, but it's mind blowing. It's really fucking cool to see.
Crazy. And we have a big week coming up. Also to note, we are recording this. It's not going to matter a ton, but we are recording this on a Wednesday, the day before. I suppose usually we record the morning. I get released same day, same Thursday we record, it gets released. So
I'm going to be in Yeehaw, Texas.
Fucking hot.
By the time this is posted, I'll probably be in Texas at that point. So yeah, I'll be in Yeehaw, Texas for a few days visiting family. So John graciously allowed us to bump filming up a day, so we'll get everything done. So you guys get the same content this week. No hiccups, no nothing.
If you see Dante walking around in a cowboy hat, make sure to say hi.
Guys, if you see me in a cowboy hat, jeans, and boots, I guarantee you will.
You gotta run a cowboy hat.
I'm getting. You gotta run a cowboy hat. Me and my cousin talked about it. We're gonna get everything.
Yeah.
I was like, should I buy some? He goes, wait till you get down here. It'll be much cheaper. He goes, when you get it actually in
cheaper
Texas,
and authentic.
Yeah. He goes, don't order anything. We'll get them when we're down there. I'm gonna be at the rodeo, which is a big country fest. If you see me, I'm probably gonna be drunk. So just proceed with caution. But yeah, if you see me, come up to me, tell me what's up. I'd love that.
With that said, we got some wrestling to get into. Like I said, we're going to cover some stuff that's happened over the week. It feels like, not a low week, but it feels like it's not crazy eventful stuff in the Bloodline. I feel like they're waiting for like this Friday and like, I think the next like Raw with Cena and then this Friday with Roman and Cody. This feels like a week to just get to the next one. But we're going to go over a bunch of stuff that happened, some news, and then, like I said, AEW Revolution 2023 predictions on the second half of the show.
Let's do it.
We're not really going to go card by card because a lot that happened on SmackDown is just also going to get filled in with stuff that happened on Raw. So it's like nothing really, not necessarily to go over. Everything happened on SmackDown, but Raw starts out with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa defeating the Street Profits in a really, really fun match. I mean, again, we could sit here and I was tweeting about it. We could sit here and just praise Montez Ford and Dawkins all fucking day.
It's so crazy to me because the crowd is so for Montez Ford. Like, they're for both of them, the Street Profits, of course. But ever since the Elimination Chamber match, people, when he was getting ready to tag in, he finally got in, the crowd went nuts.
They know that they have a superstar on their hands.
The WWE knows that they got something special in for it, and now I think people are very much anticipating that singles run from him. Yeah,
I hope we see him like, I don't know what, like, I'm not sure what they're doing with the U.S. title. I hope he lands in like a U.S. title ladder match or whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they might wrap it up with Cena.
They're gonna do Theory Cena at Mania. It seems like,
but it shouldn't be for the title because Theory's gonna. I mean,
I understand. Like,
if it's for the title, John Cena should win.
If it's for,
IMO,
so my issue, and we've kind of talked about this with Roman. And like we talk Roman and The Rock, for example, and the belt being on the line. It's kind of stupid having a belt on the line in that type of match because you know Roman's winning anyway. So it's like, why is the belt in there? In this case, I agree. Like having someone like John Cena win the belt makes sense, but defending the championship over Cena would be a huge moment for Theory, and plus Cena's not a full-timer. So to me, it's the same logic. If the title's on the line, I expect Theory to win because John Cena isn't going to be a full-time U.S. champ. That being said, I agree. I don't know if the match necessarily needs the U.S. belt because it's kind of like a passing of the torch match, you can say.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm going back and forth myself. John Cena is kind of, you can argue he's the greatest U.S. champ of all time. So I feel like having the weight of that belt, meaning like John Cena's coming back for the belt that he, you know, covets and he made prestigious and such.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Makes it feel more important.
Comes back, even bring back the short-lived U.S. Championship spinner belt.
Oh my God, that would be sick.
That's an underrated belt.
I think they did a photo shoot last year for his 20th anniversary, and Theory was a part of it. I think there's a picture of him with the spinner belt. Yeah, look it up. So I think someone took a picture with the spinner belt. I actually have that for one of my action figures, a small spinner belt. Oh, there. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest with you, with the jorts and everything, that's fucking picture. That's looking in a mirror.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, he has the chain.
Got the chain and everything. Yeah, that's looking in a mirror.
Underrated belt.
It really is. Very short-lived. I mean, it makes sense for Cena's character, for sure, but very underrated belt. Yeah.
I know we just started talking about the first match on Raw, and now we're just pivoting to U.S. match at WrestleMania, but fuck it.
It's our podcast.
I would love... Well, it would bury a Theory, which I don't think is a great idea. But if it's for the belt, just so it's not obvious and so it'd be something fun, Cena wins and for like a month, comes back for a month, 4 weeks, 4 shows.
I wouldn't mind it.
And then he does his U.S. Open Challenge again. Brings that back because that was fucking great.
It was one of the best things WWE did.
Does that for like a month, and then 4th match of the month, he loses to... maybe Theory again, or loses to someone, puts him over, and then John Cena goes back to Hollywood.
I'm all for that.
I think that'd be great.
I genuinely am all for that. I just don't think that that's in the cards.
Yeah.
It's just, we know how Cena is with his commitments to acting and all that stuff. I doubt that he has, he gave himself like a month off to be doing this stuff. Also,
he has a lot of brawny fucking paper towel ads to get to.
He does. And, you know, you think about risking injury and stuff, because if he ever gets hurt in a match, that kind of, you know, puts a pause on some of his acting gigs and all that. So there's a lot to factor in. I would love if John Cena stuck around. So going back to your point about Cena winning, kind of like that shock value, if they were to do that, I think they would have had like Edge win the belt. If they were going to do a big shock thing of him losing the belt, I think it would have been before Mania, or it will be before Mania. It could still happen.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe
Theory could also lose the title before.
How about this? How about on Monday, Cena, Theory have the face off. Cena, they're talking about the belt. Cena's like, oh, I used to do an open challenge. Why don't you do it tonight? Cena distracts him. Theory loses the belt, sets up the match. You have the match without the belt.
Yeah. I mean,
they could do something as simple as that. You know what I mean? Or
I think they need some sort of like multi-man ladder match. Like nothing like that is being set up.
Yeah, and I can't imagine Gunther being in a ladder match at Mania. They could, but I don't. I think they have something there with him, Drew, and Sheamus. I don't think they need a ladder match for the Intercontinental belt. I think that triple threat or even a 1v1 would be crazy. Sick anyways. So, I would love to see a ladder match at Mania. We're really going off topic here, but
we have no script.
No script. I have always thought that WWE should have the Money in the Bank matches at Mania. You have 2 of them now. You have the men, the women's. You have night 1, night 2. One night, one the other night. I get it. You have your own pay-per-view for it. You're selling tickets. They have it in London this year. I think they already sold out. I get that. But I think just the idea of the Money in the Bank, the prestige of it, winning it at Mania, I think that's what made it feel so important. And the mystery.
Because then you have that like Royal Rumble-esque factor of like total surprise, total mystery. And then when someone wins it at the beginning of the night, whole rest of the night, it's like, are they going to cash in?
Yeah.
Like, they are, which I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
They are taking away, not having it at Mania takes away like just a huge element of like
I agree.
surprise and suspense and, you know, like, and opportunity, booking opportunity even.
You have the event. You have the Money in the Bank event, again, like I said, and it's still great and everything. You still watch it because it's the Money in the Bank. You love the match. But I just think it would feel more valuable if like winning the briefcase in their biggest event of the year.
I agree.
And like you said, you have the match at the beginning, and then from what we've seen from previous events, a lot of people cash in same night. Right. Imagine someone imagine Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank, right? Night 2. And then Cody wins, Seth cashes it on. Like, that's
I don't even want to think of that because that's not going to happen.
Sick. It would never happen, but that's the idea of like that happening is sick. So, and 2, after Theory's Money in the Bank run, I think they really need to add a little bit more value to it. So
I do get, like, at this point, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is treated as like a big 4 pay-per-view. Like, it arguably replaces like Survivor Series at this point. I think
it feels more important than a Survivor. This past Survivor Series was important with the War Games thing, but in years past, Money in the Bank has been treated like a big pay-per-view, not just a filler.
So I think they need to either like stick with like Survivor Series being something special with like a War Games match or like with something special match if they're going to bring Money in the Bank back to me.
Or say, fuck Big 4, let's do the Fab 5. Or say you have a Fab 5 every year. Those are 5 big pay-per-views. You know?
Make all 12 of them big. I don't know why they don't do that.
The Big 12. There's a conference called the Big 12. Let's do it.
Big 12. Oh, right. March Madness is coming up.
It's March.
Let's fucking
That's
go.
right.
All right. Fuck wrestling. We're talking about March Madness.
Also, 1 month closer to the Masters. A big golf. I don't know if you watch golf or anything. I love watching the Masters. It's one.
I know my uncle's a big Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, he almost won. Rory McIlroy,
there's another
Jordan
guy.
Spieth.
I don't know. We don't got
Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods.
Tiger's in it this year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tiger's still in it.
Oh yeah, he was. He competed in the Waste Management Open in Arizona a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, you don't say.
The Waste Management Open.
No, the Waste Management.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Tiger Woods is still going strong. Yeah.
Damn. I'm excited for March Madness. Maybe we'll do some sort of March Madness bracket theme stuff going.
Ooh, WWE theme.
That's what I'm saying.
Madness,
we'll do something like that. Anyway,
we'll get to that. Back to Raw. Yeah,
let's
we're
wrap
all
back.
over the place. So they had the match.
Something that I found, which it's not something to read in too much, but Jimmy and Solo tagging.
Yep.
Jimmy needed to tag. Jay wasn't. You kind of touched on it before. Of not that I think they're really doing this, but it's just interesting to see. You mentioned they could do the Freebird rule. I believe it was in your Snapchat, the Stache Club Snapchat.
Yeah, hey, check that out. Stache Club Wrestling on Snapchat.
It's just a small detail to note of like, oh, Jimmy needed to tag with Solo because Jay wasn't there.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Still worked out. They still got the win. Maybe that's a hint of if they needed to, maybe Solo and Jimmy step in and defend the titles.
They had there was a live event they did the other night, and Jay Uso came out to team with Jimmy. It was like one of those things where he's like, "Where's Jay?" And he came out. It was a live event, so it's kind of a little bit all over the place now. Also, I don't know if you heard this. They're having a live event on the 4th in Montreal, or I think it's Montreal. They're doing Roman Sammy again for the belts.
Oh, really?
It was supposed to be Roman Solo versus Kevin Sammy, but I think obviously Sammy and Kevin aren't on the same page yet, so I think they kind of had to pivot and do a rematch.
Yeah.
So that'll happen again, but
again,
obviously nothing's gonna happen. So
taking another drastic pivot, but it is also, and it's basically to the same note as we were talking about with the Theory and Cena title match. Have you ever been to a live event show? Not one that's like a bit like one of house shows.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I went to one back in the days. My first one. It was actually sick. I forget. I remember it was Sabu was there.
Was it ECW one?
It was SmackDown with ECW or like something like that. But anyway. And I remember like it was basically like a glorified like gymnasium where like the entrance had like just an opening door. So like the Undertaker and Kane were there, and you see them just like open the door and duck under it. But anyway, that's not to the point. The point is, what are your thoughts on when they do a title defense on a house show? Because, like, you go in, if you're going to a house show and you're like, oh, like, tonight is going to be Sammy versus Roman Reigns.
Right.
Obviously, they're doing it because they're basically it's basically like when a stand-up comedian goes to, like, different events, he's playing the same set. Because that's his tour or whatever. So it's almost like they're touring with the previous popular matches from the past events, and they're touring those good matches.
Yeah, I feel like live events are just the same matches over and over again. Really, I think live events are used to test out new feuds, and just like I've seen like Seth and Cody have had matches in live events over the last few months. So it's kind of like you just kind of put guys together that have chemistry and just put on good matches. Going back to how I feel about the title matches, I think, not that I think they're not necessary. There have been times in the past where titles have changed hands. So
I love that.
So when you were talking about the live events, they had an NXT one in Lowell, Mass. a few years ago. NXT. Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor to win the NXT belt, and it was like a huge, shocking, like whoever wins on house shows, right? So considering that's happened in the past and it's not like it's never happened, I think it's cool to throw that in because on any given night, a championship can change hands.
At least there is some sort of.
With that being said, Roman Reigns ain't losing his belts on a live event, but for like an intercontinental or US or even tag team, I think having those style defenses is important if you do pull off that swerve, because then it's just like the people in the crowd are going to remember that. Like it's a cool thing.
I guess it does add, like, even if like Roman's going to win or whatever, it does still add like it's still technically a title match, and still adds that. Like,
I remember
that whatever.
I remember when I was a kid, they did sometimes they do these on live events and you even like see it happen, like, and it doesn't even see like the result on live TV. So what I mean by that is, if people might remember what I'm talking about. If not, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I remember Paul London and Brian Kendrick won the Raw tag team titles. They were always on SmackDown, went over the Raw, won the tag team titles on a live show. They had a live show the next night, and then they lost to Miz and Morrison. So they were never like shown on TV. Technically, in the record books, they're there as a one-day reign, but they never got to bring the titles on Raw, nothing like that. So it was just like a quick shock thing. Gave them the belts back the next night. So it could be a cool thing to do for that specific crowd, get the pop, whatever, and then you go back to doing what you were doing. So yeah, I think it's a cool concept. Leaves people on the edge of their seats, I guess. It's not, title changes rarely happen, but
I love it when they do that on like the next day you wake up and it's like, Samoa Joe won the NXT title on a house show.
I was going to go to that. I was going to go to that. I was thinking about going. It was really not early NXT days. It was probably like 2016-ish or maybe. So I think I was in college. So I was far from Lowell, but I really wanted to go, and unfortunately that happened. That would have been fucking sick, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So back to Jimmy and Solo.
Taking us 18 minutes to get to the first match.
Guys.
Long story short, this is like, and there was some like promo stuff, and like Sammy did come out on like SmackDown and basically confront Jimmy and basically who are you siding with, and basically telling Jimmy like, don't go down with the ship, blah blah blah. So nothing monumental, unless there's something I'm forgetting, but nothing monumental with the Bloodline
Jimmy,
stuff, right?
They were talking in the ring, Sammy and Jimmy on SmackDown. And then Jay started Jay was like looking.
Oh, right. Jay was in the crowd.
And then when Jimmy was like, what are you doing? Haluva kick.
Yes,
to Jimmy,
yes.
Sammy leaves, and Jay kind of just stood there and did nothing. So
on Raw, after the match, Jimmy and Solo are beating down the Street Profits. KO comes out to kind of save him. Later, he was interviewed backstage, basically like, oh, like, why'd you do it? Da-da-da. And he just kind of reiterated the fact of like, he didn't do it for anyone. It was just for him solo to take down the Bloodline. And he saw some people, he saw that they were vulnerable. He saw them beating down the Street Profits, and he just did it to, do it on his own volition. Didn't have anything to do with Sammy.
I feel like that's the same narrative we're going to get until a week before WrestleMania when Sammy and Kevin come together. I think that's just going to be a slow burn for them to actually come together and team up. So. Yeah, I like Kevin Owens still being in the mix of this. I think Kevin Owens right now is, not as important as Sami Zayn, of course, but he's been with the Bloodline since almost the beginning. Like, he's had a history with Roman dating back to, he was one of his first major feuds and stuff. So he definitely is very much involved in this Bloodline storyline. Not in the same height as Sami, but in a similar way as where it's as important. So I think, these promos, these, interferences, attacks, all that stuff, I think it's interesting, and I'm excited to, see where it leads, especially on SmackDown with Roman being there.
Speaking of interesting and exciting, officially, Omos versus Brock Lesnar is announced. We saw the graphic and everything for WrestleMania. I thought it was going to be a swerve. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed it's going to be a swerve.
What did we do to deserve this?
But they're using their multi-million-dollar Brock Lesnar payday, and they're cashing that in on an Omos match.
So let's look at the last and only 3 WrestleMania matches Omos has had. The first one he had,
I saw something on Twitter that's like he hasn't wrestled on Raw in like 3 months, or like something like that. But go ahead.
He teamed with AJ Styles. I forgot who they faced. This was 2 years ago. Won the tag team titles. Okay, makes sense. Tag team match for AJ. Year after, faces Bobby Lashley. Okay, he has a singles match, moving up a little bit. This year, he's facing Brock Lesnar. Here's the thing. I wouldn't have an issue with, like, if I'm looking at that, like, trio of matches, I'm thinking, oh, wow, he must have really, like, improved himself to, be involved in these matches with these big names. If I watched a clip of him wrestling 3 years ago versus a clip of him wrestling the last time he ever wrestled, I bet you there'd be no difference. He hasn't. There's nothing besides how big he is. He's a big boy. He's a very big boy. Besides that, he doesn't offer much. He doesn't, and I don't really understand why WWE is so infatuated with this match.
I really don't.
Do they think Brock Lesnar is gonna turn him into like the next big I don't know, because if Brock loses, that would be nuts to me. And
here's the thing too, like I saw one defense where someone said, oh, Brock can give anyone a good match. That's not true. I think Brock is Brock is great. Brock is one of the best.
But if
I think Brock is better complemented when he has someone on the opposite side of the ring,
a smaller opponent, not smaller, but someone that could actually wrestle. He's better. Yes, he can carry a match, but I think he shines better when there's someone else on the other side of the ring that can complement him. It takes 2 to tango,
right? And and AJ Styles is someone that can like bring out a match out of anyone.
I agree.
I think Brock can bring out a good out of an average person, but not as well as a lot of people can, and it's not gonna. I don't think Brock is this like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins that can have a match with a broomstick.
Sure, yeah.
Brock needs the opposite side to be just as whatever.
But so going back to your point with like AJ Styles is that guy that bring out the best the best opponent. They did this last year. They did the whole AJ Styles versus Omos 1-on-1.
Right.
Omos beat him. And it did nothing for him. If AJ Styles can't do that, what makes you think Brock Lesnar can't? That's just all I'm thinking. Okay, so Omos wins at WrestleMania. Hypothetically, let's do that. Okay.
Whoa. I can see it happening. I see it happening.
I just don't understand what they're trying to accomplish, because if he loses, why are you putting him in this match? If you're trying to build him up, why are you feeding him to guys like Bobby and Brock and having him lose?
Yeah.
But if he wins, I just don't know what this... You beat Brock Lesnar at Mania. That's a big win. But I just don't know if that's still something that elevates. If he looks like shit in the ring, he looks like shit in the ring. He could he could have broken the Undertaker's streak, but if he looks awful and doesn't improve in the ring, no one gives a fuck. No one cares.
And then what is that? It does not like it does anything for Brock if Brock wins, because it's like, okay, well, 1, Brock should have won, so it's like, okay, word.
Exactly.
And then 2, Brock's probably taking time off, I'd imagine, after Mania. So it's like, if like a win for Brock, what's that gonna mean? He's probably not gonna be around.
He walks away for a little bit.
Right.
He loses. I've said Brock Lesnar is a guy that can eat losses and be fine, but losing to Omos, come on.
I don't know.
Come on. We got to be better than that.
For what it's worth, the MVP segment was fun.
MVP is dope. MVP can sell a match.
MVP
he can sell a match.
They did the whole like They like were drinking. Brock brought some like moonshine or whatever. Like the whole
Brock's great.
Brock's fantastic.
Sell me on the mat. I'm here to listen to you. Sell me on the mat. I thought he's great.
He's really
so
really
good.
even this like it's nice now seeing him without Paul Heyman and seeing like he can hold his own.
He can do his thing.
On the mic.
When he's having fun, like if he's enjoying himself, you could tell he's having fun.
I love Cowboy Brock.
So I want to also kind of in defense of WWE and Brock Lesnar in a case, because saying they're like forcing this match, this and that. From what I've heard and what is very believable, Brock Lesnar is a guy that in his contract or whatnot, he has control of the matches that he has. It's not like you have to wrestle this guy, we're forcing you to. Brock Lesnar has the power to say yes or no to a match. So that being said, either he said no and WWE's like, okay, we'll give you an extra $5 million. That could definitely happen. Or he goes, yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever.
I mean, it's going to be an easy day for him.
It's going to be. He's going to be. That match is going to go no longer than 5 minutes. Yeah. No longer than 5 minutes. But it's going to be a sandbag match. Like, if Brock Lesnar F5s him, that would be fucking crazy. But like,
yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool.
I can't
but it's not
see
gonna
him
be
carrying the match. It's going to be so boring. It's going to be so boring.
Some people are saying, it's going to be like his. Hulk Hogan picking up Andre. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, don't even put that. Don't even. No, that's ridiculous. I'm not even going to entertain that.
I saw like other people, which I don't. We fall into it, not kind of, but and then a lot of other people fall into it too. I don't want to just start going I can tell Vince is back. I can tell, at the end of the day, we joke around of just good Triple H pick. What is Triple H doing? This seems like Vince is back. Yeah. At the end of the day, I want to get away from that, and I want the community to get away from that, because it's so. If any like bad thing happens, and it's like, I can tell Vince is back. Yeah. It's like you don't fucking know. For all you know, Triple H is like Omos is the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. For all you know, exactly. We don't know. You know?
And at the same time too. Listen. You're going to hit on some things, you're going to miss on some things. Triple H isn't perfect. Vince McMahon wasn't perfect. Vince McMahon, listen, there was a lot of bad things, like a lot of shit stories he told, a lot of shit matches, but there are also, not as many, but he also did a lot of good stuff, a lot of good booking and shit. You can look back and find that stuff.
I mean, overbooking the show for 30 years, you're bound to strike gold a couple times.
Yeah, you throw shit against the wall, something's got to stick, right? But Triple H isn't going to be perfect with all of his booking decisions. And like, maybe this is just the hand he was dealt. This is his first Mania. Maybe this is a match that they've kind of just had lined up. Didn't have a direction for either. Put it together, and post Mania, maybe they both have a new direction. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
Not every match is going to be a home run. So
there's still time to build something around it. There's still time for someone to get added or taken out.
We got 5 weeks. We got 5 weeks, so they might surprise us.
I don't know. It was a weirdly not crazy eventful week. We got Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. I mean, they put on a barn.
I want to say something real quick about this. Chad Gable, I hope post-Mania gets a fucking run. Whether he's with Otis. I know Otis is doing stuff with Maximum Male Models.
Which I'm glad
now.
they're starting to separate. They got to separate them. They got to start separating them.
If they do that, which it seems like they are, I want Chad Gable to be in the United States Championship picture. I want him to go on. If he had an open run with the U.S. Belt Open Challenge, my gosh, he would put on fucking crazy matches.
Chad Gable versus Montez Ford for the U.S. Championship.
Chad Gable, you want to talk about guys that bring out the best in their opponent? Yeah. Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and I think he actually last year. I could be wrong, but I think there was a stat where he had the most losses on live TV or something.
I believe it.
I would believe it too. That shouldn't be the case. Yeah. He deserves so much more than that. So good. Good.
So, yeah, I mean, nothing. We're going to see Cody and Roman on a face-to-face on Raw. After the match, Cody was like, I think he made a note of just like, it's been X amount of time and it's 5 weeks till Mania, and I still have yet to see my opponent face-to-face in the ring. Roman's going to be on SmackDown, and so am I. Yep. Drink Mountain Dew.
That was fantastic.
So, next, The Miz. Officially hosting WrestleMania.
Good gig.
Yeah.
Good gig for him.
Works out, makes sense.
If he doesn't have a match, he can be a host. He's good at that.
He's good on the mic. I'm glad to see him in the spotlight. I'd imagine, which he kind of already did a little bit on Raw, but it seemed like I'd imagine and I hope he takes on more of a a down the middle, less heel host. Like if he's gonna host, I would kind of want. If he's gonna host, I don't want him the entire show to be like, thank God so and so Brock, he sucks, and I hate, and I hate Seth, and I hate, and I hate just
call it right down the middle.
He can still be his Miz character, obviously, and be a little cheeky, be a little heelish, but like ultimately, I wouldn't want him to be a host and then be like, it sucks that we're in this arena, and then like get like what? How is that fun?
Yeah, I agree.
I hope it just seems like he's gonna. I hope it's a little more like of a down the middle thing. But I mean, yeah, I'm glad to see Miz. It's the first step in Miz kind of getting back into the spotlight.
Yeah.
The host gig has always been kind of stupid in my opinion of WrestleMania.
It's you're just kind of giving someone a spot on the card essentially.
Yeah.
Giving them a spot on the card without having a match.
Right.
So
which it was like, I mean, remember that one year when New Day hosted it?
Yeah,
and it was like they didn't have a match.
That was the year the Hardys,
right? And then
they were hyping it up like
it all ended up working out.
Was it going to be? Yeah, exactly. I think The Rock hosted it when he returned 10+ years ago.
Yeah.
I think Alexa Bliss hosted it a year or two ago with Hulk Hogan or some shit like that.
It sounds familiar.
Titus O'Neil. Yeah.
Weird.
I think this is going to be a good year for a host.
I think so.
If you have the right person for it, it could work.
I think so.
And I think they have the right person for it. So. But continuing with The Miz.
Seth Rollins takes over Miz TV and ends up FaceTiming Logan Paul, which was one of the funniest. He's doing FaceTime and Logan Paul just isn't looking. He's like, yeah, so
like he's like looking around like, where's that coming from? He's on your phone, bro. Look into your phone.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, I tweeted this and I'm like 80% sure. I'm like 90% sure. That was a pre-recorded. Yeah, it was a pre-recorded because like you'd look. And it would just be like so still too, and then it cuts back to the main camera, and he's like,
I was thinking that, yeah, because I would imagine they had it on the big Titantron too, so it would have to have been.
It was probably a green screen that they did on the, because like also that's not how FaceTime looks. Yeah. Like there's no,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not here to nitpick. I'm just I'm just a camera guy.
It sets up Logan Paul coming to Raw next week. Seth and Logan will face probably make the match official for Mania, which is I think
star-studded night in Boston, bro. Fuck. Logan and John Cena in Boston.
I'm so mad I'm gonna be in Texas, dude. I'm so mad. I'm
gonna buy a Maverick t-shirt.
Dude, get two. Get two. Get a bottle of Prime. Let me know how it is.
But yeah, I mean,
call him a little bitch at the end.
He made fun of. He was like, "Oh, how's your brother Jake had a tough weekend. How's your brother Jake?" And fine, cool, works out. I knew we were going to get the match. I think they're going to put on... I don't think the story's going to be anything to write home about, but I think they're going to put on a barn burner.
I think it's going to be a good match.
It's going to be crazy.
This is a good match where they're kind of blurring the lines of fake and real because Seth's been doing the interviews, actual interviews and talking shit about Logan. For sure, it's all, part of the storyline, hyping up the match. But I love Seth Rollins in this type of feud. Him and Riddle when they were feuding. Great. Remember when they had the broadcast and he was like, that's why your wife and kid left you, little bitch, and he kept it was like intense. It was
like pretended it went off air, and then Seth's like, "Hey, you still there?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm still here." And they're like still fully on broadcast, and he's like, and that's why your wife left you, little bitch ass. He's like, "Where are you?" I'm right here. That was so. I rewatched that like a month or two ago.
I love that. But I love stories that are like that, blur the lines. And I like Seth in that situation because Seth can very much come off like he's talking about CM Punk in interviews, calling him a cancer and how much he hates him and stuff. I think he can come off as a dick and stuff, whether it's real or fake. He's very good at showing a lot of emotion, being a dick if he has to be a dick. You know what I mean?
I think I've said it before. They need, and I think it would help out this feud. They need to drop this Willy Wonka character or whatever.
That
for Seth has.
Gotcha.
Like I get it and I don't get it. Like, it's transformed so much into being like this maniacal, evil guy.
The last 3 years, he's had different characters that have kind of tied into each other. Like the Monday Night Messiah, he started going a little loopy, thinking he's a god.
I think Messiah had potential. And then I don't think Messiah hit it.
And then the Drip God came around, where he was just dressing up,
which is like kind of he still is doing what we're back to.
Visionary, which I think he's kind of moved on. So I think it went Monday Night Messiah, Visionary, Drip God, and now he is what he's doing now. which is like kind of he's still dressing up and all that shit, but he's kind of like
he's like the Joker.
I was thinking Joker, but he also was a lot like that a year ago when he was facing Roman, because he dressed up in the green suit, remember? And they kept calling him the Joker.
Yeah. He's almost taking on like the role. It's the same character that Becky was doing.
So what I like about his character now, though, is he's not a heel nor is he a face. He's kind of just like real.
Yeah, that's I like that too.
And I love characters like that because I think Rollins is good enough where he can kind of just, he doesn't have to have a specific character if he's just himself. That's what Roman is.
But that's the thing. But I think that's a great point. Those are my favorite characters too. But him coming out with the fuzzy glasses isn't Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
it's just not him.
It's extra. I mean, he came out in the red boots a few weeks ago. Those big ass.
Which I think
boots.
that can work for someone else.
He rocked those boots, though.
He rocked those boots. But I love like the stomp with it. I get it. It was like the hot social media thing, whatever. And to Seth's credit, is he's one of the best.
He kills whatever character.
He kills whatever. He takes whatever is given to him. I just think if they just keep what you have, but just take away the silly outfits, and he can still be this like cocky, maniacal guy, except it's a little more reminiscent of the Architect than it is, this silly whatever.
I would like to think, I'd hope, there's a lot of the main event scene is going to be dictated off of what happens with Cody and Roman, because it's like, okay, Roman wins. They're obviously keeping both belts together. He's going to keep doing his thing. Cody wins. Most likely we're splitting the belts up. So the whole main event scene,
I don't even know at this point.
If Cody wins,
they should. I agree that they should.
Really should. But. They really should. But if oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. What was I going off of?
Main event scene of Seth.
Main event scene. If they split the belts and like they start doing the one belt on this brand, one belt on this brand, I really want Seth Rollins to go back into that. Like, I'm one of the best in the world. Like, I'm going after the belt. I should be a world champion.
Yeah.
I think he should not move on from his character, but just kind of, lessen it and blend in the whole, like, again, like, I've been on this, I've had to take a backseat to Roman Reigns for years, I've had one title match, I have to stick around the mid-card stuff, like, I deserve better. That's the type of Seth Rollins, like, the emotional type of guy, and I want to see him, if they split up the belts, he should be the first guy to hold on to whatever belt is vacated, and they put on whatever other brand. He needs a championship reign so bad.
Or they do Roman wins, Seth is still the next challenger, and then Seth, like I think either way, Seth needs to be in the main title picture. Whoever wins,
I agree.
I think Seth needs to be. And the Roman Seth match just makes the Roman Seth feud for Seth taking off a title just makes fucking sense. But then we got Jay. We still want Jay to be in it.
Like, you have three guys: Cody, Jay, and Seth Rollins is just as credible as anyone to beat Roman.
I think so.
With
100%.
History, if you did like a match at the Royal Rumble or something, they could have easily pulled off of a Seth upset, like with some goofy stuff going on, because Seth Rollins is very believable and he could easily have been the guy to dethrone Roman. At one point, I was hoping he was going to be the guy to dethrone Roman. I kind of wanted him.
Still could be.
He still could be. Who knows? But all that shit is really going to come down to whoever wins the match and what they do. If Cody wins and they don't split up the belts, I'm going to be so shocked. If Cody wins, they could just merge the belts and then introduce another belt, aka
I'd be fine with that,
aka the World Heavyweight Championship, which they should have done years ago. But
I'd be fine with that as long as they just got two belts, one belt per show.
One on Raw, one on SmackDown.
That's all they need.
They need to go back to that. It worked. Like Roman, I get it. It worked for him initially because you make him look like a god, holder of both belts. But it kind of, I think people were expecting. I thought it was going to be like he was going to defend the WWE belt and the Universal belt. Like, they're unified, but you see what they're doing with the tag team belts. They're kind of defending them separately now. That didn't really happen. That's how
you would think, especially like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in the day when it would end up like someone having two belts, I think they defend them like they were separate
belts.
There
there have been instances where unified and they didn't do that, but there are times when they also have done that. So I think people were just expecting that because, okay, you're defending both belts now. Oh my gosh, you're going to look like a monster. But he kind of held both belts hostage for the last year. It's time to split them up. It's time.
Gargano got a win over Otis.
Otis,
my apologies.
Yeah. I hope it keeps going for Gargano. I don't know what he's gonna be doing at Mania. He would be a guy that would be perfect for a ladder match.
Yeah,
no, 100% ladder match. But
before we get into AEW Revolution picks, probably the biggest thing to come out of this week, at least one of the biggest things, we got Lita and Becky Lynch versus Damage CTRL. Fun match. I mean, Lita can still fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you everything that happened. We can break it down. What do you like? What don't you like? We got Lita and Becky. They defeated Damage CTRL with the returning Trish Stratus. You called it like a few weeks. You were very early on it. Very early on it.
I feel like WWE was pushing this back a few weeks.
Yeah, 100%. And so we got the Trish Stratus return. It looks like they're kind of setting up a 3-on-3, which I would rather the titles get defended.
So they're definitely doing 3-on-3 because why the fuck if Trish is back? She's not here to be a manager. She's gonna probably wrestle, right?
Yeah.
So they could do like a 3-on-3 match. Whatever team wins gets the belts.
Not a Freebird situation.
Sure, it could just be something like that. Yeah. I'm trying to think of instances in the past where they've done that.
I have no idea.
I can't think of anything. But I can imagine that happening unless some way before WrestleMania they lose the belts back there. I don't know
because I don't know if they just do the. I mean, if they either do a rematch with Damage CTRL, Bayley's off the card. And then and Trish is off the card. If Trish is even wrestling,
wouldn't have it made more sense? Because right now it's kind of like the story is Bayley versus Becky. Wouldn't have made more sense if Lita and Trish won the tag team belts? Kind of like it's Becky and then the two partners she brings along, Bayley and the two partners she brings along are Dakota and Io.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that made a little bit more sense? Like I understand why they did what they did here. Actually, I really don't know what the long-term plan is for Lita and Becky. I think it's a cool moment. It's one of those shocking moments that it's cool to see Lita holding a belt in, I don't know, 15, 16 plus years. But I have no fucking clue what they're going to do next. So
I think the big controversial point, do you like it? Do you like that Lita has championship gold? Do you like that Lita beat the young and up-and-comers in Damage CTRL? How do you feel about it? So a lot of people aren't happy.
If WWE made an effort to have the women's tag team belts mean something, I think I would have been like, oh, that wasn't the right decision to make. But I think they've only defended the belts twice in the last few months. Who gives a fuck? Come on, guys. Let's be real here. I understand.
I would even argue, even if the titles were a big deal, I would still like this decision.
I think we talked about this before. People are upset, oh, Lita's older, winning belts. That's not realistic. Do you not watch WWE? Do you not know what they do? Gold fucking Berg beat Kevin Owens when he was Universal Champion on the way to WrestleMania when realistically the main of that Universal belt at Mania should have been Owens versus Chris Jericho. That was the best story in wrestling. That's also the reason why Chris Jericho left WWE because of how disrespectful that was. 2, Goldberg comes in and beats The Fiend when The Fiend is like, during he's supposed to be the next big monster, all that stuff. Beats him. WWE does this. This isn't anything new. And 2, Lita fucking rocks.
I was going to say,
it's not like Lita.
The difference is she's not a Goldberg coming back.
Goldberg has 2 moves, the spear and the jackhammer. He's going to spear you once in the ring, once through the barricade, and once more in the ring. That's the match.
And granted, she's not prime Lita, obviously, but she can still go. And I think it's like a video game where she's has legendary status and she can still go in the ring. So her overall strength is still going to be stronger than Dakota Kai and Io Sky, who are a lot newer and fresher, where it's it almost makes more sense that Lita beat Dakota Kai and Io Sky, right? With that,
exactly. And I would be more upset if, let's say...
And with Trish Stratus returning.
Yeah, it was
the amount of just, again, thinking in terms video game and wrestling, the amount of power and fucking just stats they have on that side of the ring with Becky, Trish, and Lita.
Yeah, 100%.
You want them to lose?
Yeah.
And I love Damage CTRL. You want them to lose to Damage CTRL? That doesn't make any sense. Of course, in the real world, if it's, they're older and slower or whatever, duh. But this isn't the real world. This is professional wrestling. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, The Undertaker was literally fucking limping his way to the ring the last few matches.
I'd argue his last, what do you want to say, 5 to 10 matches were unrealistically won by him.
The last match of his,
besides the one he lost, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the last, besides the Boneyard match where AJ Styles, he looked good because it was like a pre-film, whatever. But actual match in front of fans, I think his match against CM Punk at WrestleMania 29 was like his last, oh shit, he can go. Because then you had Lesnar, and then he got hurt during that match. Bray Wyatt was iffy. I'm kind of just going down the line here. Sure. But yeah, I agree. And it's again, WWE, they do this. I don't know why people you saw Becky Lynch and Lita versus Damage CTRL.
And I don't think this is a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Yeah. If you should have expected them to win. You think you're going to have Lita compete in a match and she's going to
Especially when Trish came back.
And Trish has come back. No. It would make, like I said earlier, if it was a different situation, like Gunther, for example, if they brought back they brought back Ricky Steamboat. All right. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy late birthday, Ricky Steamboat. One of the former Intercontinental champion.
The greatest.
He comes back and pins Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Now I'm going to be upset.
Sure.
Because he's made the Intercontinental Championship prestigious and it means something. Again, the women's tag team belt, not for nothing, don't feel that prestigious or important at this very moment. Arguably, Becky and Lita elevated those belts a little bit more by winning them.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So I think at the end of the day, this might have been the best decision for them to make as far as, the future of the belts. I think this adds more prestige and value to them.
I'm just really, really curious where they're going from here.
Because I also been hearing Ronda and Shayna are the tag team, and I heard that they were going to go for the belts. I don't know.
They might end up doing a 4-way tag situation.
Sure, but then I'm thinking, why is Trish involved?
Why is Trish involved? Right. Bailey should be on the card. If last WrestleMania, not all she did, but last WrestleMania she made her return. If a WrestleMania,
she wasn't even at last WrestleMania. She returned at this past SummerSlam. She wasn't even at WrestleMania last year.
Was it SummerSlam when Damage CTRL?
Yeah, it was SummerSlam.
That was SummerSlam when Damage CTRL.
Because it was Triple H's first pay-per-view. It was the first match.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she hasn't been back a full year.
Wow. Even still though. She deserves to be on the card. There's a match.
And if they did the whole tag team forward match, that would it would make more sense if it was Lita and Trish, not Lita and Becky. Because if you can do Trish versus Bailey, maybe, but there's no real history there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the decision. I think it's cool, but I'm confused of what they're gonna do with this. But I'm down for the ride.
It all also depends on if Trish is yes, I'm going to wrestle. If Trish is just I'm just going to make an appearance and not wrestle, she might not even.
Yeah, she might not even wrestle. So that's, I guess, to be seen. So
all right, AEW Revolution 2023 predictions, baby.
Let's do it.
Also, again, we're recording this on a Wednesday morning, so Dynamite hasn't happened yet. This is the go home show, the go home Dynamite show tonight. So
if we miss anything, sorry. We have 7 matches to talk about, so we should have a good number to dictate a new Money in the Bank holder.
Oh yes, what do you want to do?
Okay, so we did the new Money in the Bank concept with Elimination Chamber. I won, so I have an extra 5 points to add on to any quiz. We did that, and I'm thinking, until the next pay-per-view, we have time. We got weeks to cash it in. AEW Revolution is this weekend, so I don't really have much time to use it. So what we talked about, and I think what we're going to do, is we're going to have the option to double down.
Double or nothing.
I
guess not nothing, but yeah.
So if I win, I'll have 10 points I can wager. If I lose, do you get 5 points, or do I lose my 5 points?
I get the 10.
You get the 10 completely.
I get the 10.
Okay, so it's double down for anyone involved.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to double down.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You're more of a gambler than I am.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll
okay.
do that. So I'm officially announcing that I'm doubling down because we only got one quiz to do. And I think I'm the reigning champ, so it doesn't really. I want it to mean something. I want it to be more fun. So I'm gonna double down.
Then we'll have after that. Then we'll have about 4 or 5 weeks of quizzes to.
I'll tell you what, that 10-point swings could be a lot.
That's a lot. Gonna be a lot. A 10 points gonna be a game changer.
So that's my decision. I'm officially relinquishing my Money in the Bank and putting it up for grabs.
All right.
For AEW Revolution.
With that said, first match here, I'm using comicbook.com.
Shout out Comic Book.
BleacherReport.com. I think it has the same 7 matches. Just trying not to miss something. Mm-hmm. But we have some TBDs in here. Doesn't matter. Okay, Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this was made official yet.
They're doing the whole Jericho Appreciation Society. Ricky Starks had to face a few guys to get to him. Didn't they have a match over a month? Didn't they already face 1-on-1?
I'm not sure if they faced 1-on. Maybe. I don't know.
Let's find out.
We are also all doing these picks. We didn't make these picks beforehand, so we're doing all these picks live, baby.
Yes, sir.
My pick off rip, gotta be Ricky Starks. Come on. If Ricky Starks win, I'll buy that T-shirt. I'm getting damn close to buying that T-shirt.
You've been talking about buying
the
this
next
T-shirt.
sale they do. Sometimes they do like
20% off or something.
Yeah, they'll do like
that.
randomly. Next sale AEW does. It might be tonight. Sometimes they do like sales when their shows happen. They'll probably do one for Revolution. Either way, next time that happens.
So Ricky Starks and Jericho had faced off January 4th on an episode of Dynamite, and Ricky Starks won that match.
Let's go, Ricky. But also Ricky Starks lost the gauntlet. Remember they did the Jericho not that I was for not that I was against Chris Jericho, but I'm just saying in terms of the story.
Right.
You know.
So I'm a big fan of. I like the idea of Jericho winning, so it's 1-on-1 and they have one final blow-off match.
Oh, I don't think that's this case at all.
But I think Ricky Starks needs to win this match. So I'm also going to go Ricky Starks.
Ricky.
We're also big Ricky fans. So I would like to see Ricky Starks get a big win on one of their pay-per-views.
Yeah, I would hope this is the end of his like Jericho Appreciation Society feud and he moves on after
Yeah,
this.
and Jericho is a guy that he's
gonna
a
put the
living
kid over.
legend.
He's gonna put the kid over.
He doesn't need this win. So
John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match.
Yeah.
Brother, this one's gonna be bloody.
all right, so what are the over/under for amount of blood coming out of both these men? Do you think the entire ring mat is going to be covered in blood by the end of it, or 50% of it?
I'd even wager to say how over under 45 seconds into the match is someone busted open.
I think John Moxley's going to walk down to the ring and bust himself open. I think he's going to be bleeding when he walks through the back.
So this is an interesting one.
Yep.
A lot of people, which at this point, who knows? For some reason, we all just assume this was true.
Yep.
That John Moxley was taking some vacation time.
The dude doesn't like to take some time.
So,
So I'm looking at.
they got some history. Please.
This is their fourth match together. They faced off in October, beginning of January, and in the beginning of February. I want to
because the last one, Hangman got the better of him.
Yes, I want to. Where's the results for this?
I think gut reaction. Unless once you start reading stuff, it really changes my mind. I'm going Hangman. I think
Yeah.
Hangman needs the bounce back. Mox has had a run. Again, I'm not gonna keep sitting here and be like, oh, he's gonna take a vacation. Because at this point, we don't fucking know. But I think just with all the backstage stuff with like Hangman and Renee and a lot of their recent face-to-face confrontations, I think Hangman needs this more than Mox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Going Hangman. I think it would be almost like not a surprise. I think people are expecting Mox to win this. I don't know who the favorite is, but my gut says Hangman.
Okay. This is very 50-50 for me.
It really is. It really, really is.
I feel like
that's what their whole like feud is based on, is really just like.
Okay, so the first time they faced in October, I don't know why the first website wasn't giving me this. Moxley won the first match. That was for the AEW World Championship. Then Adam Page won in January, and then John Moxley won the last time they faced. So technically it's 2-1
Oh, John
Moxley.
won the last one. What was the does it have details on what the last match was?
I think it's just a regular match. They say
When was it though?
February 15th was the last time they faced. So
Okay,
a little less than a month ago. They faced off.
But someone got injured. Oh, that's what it was. All right, so remember?
Oh, February 1st, not 15th.
So, if memory serves me correct, which it probably doesn't, in that match, didn't Mox get injured?
No, Hangman got a concussion during one of their matches.
That's what it was.
So the match had to end. I think that was for the championship.
And then the whole thing was like Mox was like, oh, you see what I did to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Hangman Adam Page.
Right, come on. I'm
going Hangman Adam Page because kind of the same logic I was saying with Jericho. Moxley doesn't need the win. Mm-hmm. Moxley is set up. He's an AEW legend. He can lose 15 matches in a row and still be John Moxley. Adam Page, I still think he needs that big win to kind of set himself back up to being, in the main event picture, back in the world title picture, all that stuff. Also, if Hangman wins, it's 2-2. We were talking about having grudge matches and blow-off matches.
Sure.
I think like this could be a time where if Adam Page wins, they have that one more match. I'm not saying it has to be soon, but it'll be like down the line. Oh, it's 2v2. Who's going to get the upper hand type of thing. Not that I'm saying that's the reason why I'm picking Adam Page. I want him to win. I think he should get this win, but I think it would make more sense if Page won.
AEW TNT Championship match, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. This one's also tough.
Yeah, because Wardlow's returning now. Samoa Joe just won the AEW belt. TNT
Wardlow just got a haircut. A lot of people are saying your haircut looks like Wardlow's.
A lot of people were comparing it. Yeah, I think I like...
which, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, Dante got a haircut. I don't know if...
that was the craziest thing, seeing all those
fucking ridiculous.
Not once did I think that people were going to even compliment
There was so much... I think that was the video where I won the title, and everyone's just like, cool haircut, cool haircut, cool haircut. Oh, sweet haircut.
Finally made history.
Finally made history.
Talking about was the haircut.
It looks great. It looks great.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's better. I appreciate the compliments, and not. It's better that all the comments were good ones, and not like, oh, what a shitty haircut.
Damn, dumb haircut.
Yeah, but I think me and Wardlow are more similar for our muscular physiques and our haircuts. But anyway, I appreciate the compliment. So AEW loves flip flopping this TNT belt like it's hot,
not
hot
mad
potato.
At it.
Not mad at it. Wardlow's returning, big thing. I'm going Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe. I want him. I want someone to have a lengthy, not like a 6 month to a year long reign, but I want someone to just hold on to the belt for a little bit. And I want Samoa Joe to be that guy. Wardlow can get it back in due time, whatever. But right now, I think Samoa Joe needs his time as champ.
See, I also want Samoa Joe, but I don't want to keep picking the same.
We're trending in the same direction here. Hey, it's your predictions.
I think I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna. This screwed me over last time. I'm just trying to be different. I'm gonna go Samoa Joe. It does make. I mean, Samoa Joe just like was the one that cut Wardlow's hair, and like it in the same vein of Hangman Adam Page coming back to get his win is the same idea as Wardlow coming back to get his comeuppance.
Sure.
Or to give out your comeuppance, whatever that phrase is.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I like Samoa Joe as the champion, and he's still I like him as the television champion with the TNT and the ROH TV title.
I want him defending the TNT championship every week.
I want to see.
You could put on fucking bangers.
I
love Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe so much. I want him to do so well. I love him.
I want to see Samoa Joe wrestle more than I want Wardlow to wrestle.
Yeah,
so it's
I do too. We've talked in the past about how we have our certain wrestlers that we're fanboys over, wrestlers that we don't really like and we're proven haters of. I want to put this on the record here. I want to say it. I'm a huge fucking Samoa Joe fan.
Hey.
That dude can be fucking 60 years old and I'd still want him to be winning championships. That dude is legendary. I love Samoa Joe.
AEW World Trios Championship match, the Elite versus the House of Black.
I love that they're doing this. Is there a build-up? Has there been any build up to this or something happened to set it up? Or
I gotta be honest.
That's me being guilty of not keeping up with AEW too much. But
admittedly, the Bloodline story has taken up a lot of our time. You can't blame us. I've been keeping up with. I think I did miss. I was out last week. I definitely
didn't see AEW last week.
I want to say yes. It's nothing crazy in terms it's a crazy.
I'm sure there was something that set it up, like an appearance or something.
I think there's been some spooky shit. I believe.
Okay.
I believe there's been some spooky.
Makes
shit.
sense. House of Black.
Which again, we're AEW fans. Apologies that we're not as knowledgeable.
We love AEW. It's just we've talked about this before.
Also, this card is getting ripped apart. This is they're claiming this is probably one of their most lackluster pay-per-views of all time.
I don't know. I mean, is it because of lack of build-up or because the elite, elite match? I don't really see much. Okay, yeah. So I'm watching the video. They just kind of came out and just
did some spooky shit.
Lights went out, all that stuff surrounded the ring. So they were around the ring. Lights go out and they're gone. Okay, so it's just kind of like a
challenge.
hey, we're here.
We're next.
I love House of Black. I love Aleister Black or Malachi Black.
I wish I liked them more, I'll be honest.
I like Brody King. I still don't know why Buddy Murphy's there, because it's kind of like all these guys have tattoos all over their bodies, and then there's just Buddy Murphy who's sick because he's...
And then Buddy.
and Buddy! I mean, he's jacked. I love him.
Yeah, no, he's sick.
He's sick. A great wrestler.
And Julia Hart. Shout out Julia Hart.
Shout out Julia Hart. I still believe the Elite need to hold on to these belts to elevate them and, add this. When you introduce belts like this, you can't start doing the whole hot potato thing because you're not going to build value there. So, and that being said, I think the Elite should win, but I really hope that this match sets up future matches between, there's like maybe not a best of 7, but like they do something along those lines, because if the Elite aren't going to be the Trios champs, the House of Black should be the Trios champs. But I think you just need a little bit more time to build up that feud for them to win the belts.
Yeah, I think especially coming off of the Death Triangle Trios run, which I think they had a good run as Trios champions. Now the Elite finally have it. I think they also it's it's having gold on Omega and the Bucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do they need gold on them necessarily? No, but those are the 3 best guys to elevate a championship.
Yeah, I'm also sticking with the Elite. I don't see a House of Black taking it now. I honestly don't even see it. I see this being a pretty one-off, and then just like the Elite moving on to whatever the next.
Sure, I just don't know. I mean, how many great trios are there for them to go up against? You know what I mean?
Surprisingly, like kind of a decent amount. They got. I think it's mostly more just like factions.
Sure. I'd like to see the House of Black eventually win the trios belts, but I don't think this is the time.
Yeah, agreed. AEW Women's World Championship triple threat: Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho versus Saraya.
So right now the whole thing is Saraya and Toni Storm are trying to recruit Ruby Soho into their group, right?
Right.
And
it's basically like one half, like the Jamie Hayter side, is like the AEW. They're not saying it as blatant, but it's basically the AEW originals versus the WWE people who came in.
Who would have thought the AEW would run with a storyline like that? Oh my goodness!
I like it though. I like it.
They don't really push that.
And then Ruby Soho is the one in the middle because she's technically from WWE, but she really had her shine in AEW, and
So I'm gonna do process of elimination. I don't think Ruby Soho is gonna win the match.
No?
I think she's kind of the middleman here. I would love to see Ruby Soho win the belt eventually. Right. No, I'm not a Ruby Soho hater. I like her. I just think she's kind of just thrown in the mix here.
I
think it's way too early for Saraya to win a belt. I think she still needs to, get that ring rust off of her. I don't think she's there yet. And I don't want Jamie Hayter's reign to end. So I'm going to go Jamie Hayter. I'm going Jamie. I don't think this is the time for her to lose.
Damn.
Yeah. That's not really something I have to really think too much about. And this
one's tougher for me.
I still think that they're going to do the whole Britt Baker versus Jamie thing. Since the beginning, I think that there's going to be the whole jealousy storyline. Britt's going to get tired of Jamie winning and doing this and that, and she's going to snap, and that sets up that feud.
I could also see or
Britt costs her the belt, and you can still have that match.
I could also see the quote unquote WWE faction side screwing over Ruby. Like Ruby's about to win it, and then she gets screwed over by the people who are trying to recruit her or something like that.
They can do a few different things.
I think you're right. I want Ruby. I think Ruby will get her day someday, and someday soon. So I think Ruby's next up.
She's been in AEW for too long to not have been at least competing for. I don't know if this is her. I don't think this is her first title match, but yeah, she's been in AEW long enough where she should be in position to be a champion soon. With that being said, who are you picking?
I think Jamie. I might switch at the end of this.
Hey, you have until the end of the episode.
Because also this is always part of my reasoning too, is we got some title defenses. Like, we got Samoa Joe keeping it. We got the Elite keeping it. And then are we going to have, Jamie Hayter also keeps it. And then if, we're going to get into it.
That's very unlike AEW to not have a title change. Right.
We got AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Guns, the champions versus the Acclaimed versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus TBD. I don't know.
Yeah, they're having one more Battle Royal match tonight.
All right, let me look.
It's the same thing as last week, just a bunch of tag teams.
I just want to see the competitors in it. But what do you think about? You didn't seem excited.
I'm not excited. I don't know. Like, I'm still just I don't know why the Acclaimed lost the belts in the first place. I'm still kind of upset over that, I guess. I think the Guns, they just won it. It would make sense if you kept the reign going, like in a heelish way. They win with the help of whoever. Maybe Billy Gunn turns on the Acclaimed in this match and joins his sons or something like that. But I mean, we don't know who the last team's gonna be. So,
okay, so we got. I mean,
it's the same teams as last week, really.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like minus some people. So it's there's some people I do not
Top
recognize
Flight,
here.
Jericho, Lucha Bros,
Best Friends, Dark Order, Butcher and Blade, Lucha Bros, Roosh, and the other guy, Top Flight,
Blackpool Combat
Club.
Cool. A Dark Order.
Yep, and then I'm not sure who the other people are, but 2.0 or whatever the fuck they're called now. Interesting. There could be there could be like I would love.
I think Blackpool would be a great addition to the match.
They'd be great. I'd love to see Death Triangle get back in there.
Course.
Honestly, I think Top Flight being in there would be great.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it could be this could be a good opportunity for, lesser teams to get an opportunity. With that being said, who I'm picking to win this match.
Hook is fighting Matt Hardy tonight. What the fuck?
Yeah, for the belt. For the FTW belt. Okay.
The ladder match tonight? Let's fucking go.
For what? What is the ladder?
The
Face of Revolution ladder match?
I don't know what
Samoa
that means.
Joe on commentary? Maybe it's for a future TNT championship? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. I really want to get crazy here because we've been picking we've had the same picks. But I'm worried because I think I know what we're going to pick for the main event. So this could be the only match that we're going to have a different pick on. So the whole Money in the Bank concept is going to come down to this match, I think. Unless you change your Jamie Hayter pick too.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Because we've had the same 5 picks, and I think we're going to have 6 picks that are going to be alike. So this is going to be different. Damn. So I'm really swinging for the fences here. I'm going Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Whoa.
I think AEW has been really pushing them the last few months.
They have.
And I don't know why they are. Do I like them as a group? Not really. Do I think Jeff Jarrett deserves to be a champion? Not really. But I think it would be a shocking moment. Either the Guns retain or Jarrett and Jay Lethal win. Because I can see Billy Gunn turning on the Acclaimed. You don't think
the fourth team, like nothing at all?
I'm not even considering them right now. I think that's just going to be a team to kind of make the match more exciting.
Sure.
I don't think the Acclaim's going to win. So this is process of elimination, and it's just a gut feeling. I don't know. Again, I don't know why they've been pushing them to the moon. Do they deserve it? Jay Lethal's a great wrestler. I love Jay Lethal, but I just have a feeling that they're going to win. Yeah, I'm going Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. I can't believe I'm saying that too. I really can't.
I'm not going to pick them, but you sold me on them. And I think you're right, but I'm not going to pick them. And yeah, I also don't see the Acclaimed winning them back so soon, because why the fuck would they have lost them? I don't want to pick the Guns. Well, spoiler, I'm going to pick the Guns.
Okay.
But there's too many shenanigans. There's too much Billy Gunn involvement. And if I pick the Guns, there's no title change. Well, again, we'll get to the last match, but so far I have no title changes if I pick the Guns. So
I mean, the Guns is a good pick. It's honestly a safe pick, to be honest with you.
I'm going the Guns. You know what sucks about this match is I have to root for the Guns and you have to root for Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
And neither of us care about either of those teams. Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense if the Acclaim were champs going into this match. And then have the Guns
and then
win.
They pull
then
the
Guns
win.
Right? That would have made more sense. But this is what we dealt with. So
this might
poor Acclaimed. I really want. I still think they should be champs. I want them to be champs, but I don't think they're getting.
And what's nice about this is if the Acclaimed win, then me and you can just be like, hey, nice, Yep,
nice. I agree.
All right.
Okay, last match.
AEW World Championship match. Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus the Dragon. What the fuck is his name? The Dragon?
The Dragon.
Bryan Danielson. 60-minute Iron Man match. Whoa.
I'm actually genuinely looking forward to this.
Me too.
This match. I think this is going to be.
I mean, this is head and shoulders above any in terms of anticipation.
Yeah,
above the rest of the card.
I mean, we can go back and all the other matches we were talking about. Maybe the only other match I really care about is the Moxley Hangman match. To be honest with you,
yeah.
But no disrespect to everyone else, of course. But this is going to be a prove it match for MJF as far as his wrestling skills go. We've seen, he's a great wrestler in the ring, but you're going into the ring with one of the best technical wrestlers ever in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Daniel Bryan, we talk about in WWE guys that bring out the best in others. AJ Styles being one of those guys. Brock Lesnar can be one of those guys. Bryan Danielson is 1,000% one of those guys. He brings out the best, and whoever he goes up against, he's a guy that genuinely could go up against a broomstick and put on at least a 4-star match. That being said, I think there's no way. I mean, there could be a way, but MJF should not lose in his first real title defense in a big match, big pay-per-view after the whole hype up of him winning the AEW championship, doing this and that.
Yeah, what was his last title defense?
Did he defend it against Ricky Starks? I think he. Yeah, they did. So he's had.
I feel like he had another one. I could be wrong.
He could have had another one, but he definitely did defend it against Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
So, but his on a big pay-per-view and stuff like this. I think I've said it since the beginning. Bryan Danielson should be AEW champion at some point because I think he'd do wonders with the belt and he'd put on unbelievable matches and be a great world champ, face of the company. But MJF, it's his moment right now.
Oh, also MJF. Oh no, sorry, that was a title change. Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to.
Are you talking about the Mox?
Yeah.
So I don't think.
Damn, you're right. This is his. I didn't realize that. His only real title defense was against Ricky Starks,
and that's crazy. And that was in December. That was almost 2. Yeah, he's been champ for almost 4 months. That's wild. 4 months, and this is his first like legitimate title defense.
Wow.
I'm going MJF. He needs to win this match. I think if he walks out of this match 60 minutes, puts on a performance of a lifetime, this is gonna be this is gonna be a big boost for him.
Did you see the promo on last night's Dynamite with MJF on Danielson?
No, I don't think.
Really, really good. Definitely worth.
Well, not last week.
Last week.
Oh, okay. So I was confused. I was like, last night. I do remember it was a very passionate promo. I think
it was
someone
well
mentioned.
needed.
I didn't listen to it or hear anything. Apparently, him and his fiance broke up, and he mentioned something like that in the promo. Was that true?
I think it's.
Was there something like that tied? I saw someone tweet that.
No,
I don't know.
I could also be wrong, but I think it's made up or it's like not the girl he's with, but it's a past girl who's gonna marry.
Put in the comments, clarify that for us.
That's how I read it. I don't think.
Okay, yeah, I just saw a tweet about that, so I wasn't 100% sure.
But either way, yeah, it was about like. All MJF has ever wanted was like a family, and he he was seeing this girl that was like the love of his life and gonna marry her, blah blah blah. She ended up breaking his heart, and it kind of tore his life apart. And which they should have been doing this weeks ago because this was great. And he criticized Daniel Bryan about how selfish he is and about not caring about his family.
Oh, yes. I did.
Basically being like, MJF basically saying, if I had what you had, and if I was so lucky to have what you had, I wouldn't be in the ring anymore. And he said, because with all of your injuries, you are one of the most injured professional wrestlers ever. And he says, because of that, every time Bryan Danielson steps in the ring, Bryan Danielson is saying that he cares more about wrestling than his family.
Isn't it? Okay, so isn't that kind of similar to the promo Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes had on Monday a few weeks ago? Because Paul was like, do you want this pressure being world champ where you're going to be away from your family and stuff like that? Like, you have to commit to this and stuff.
I think similar, yeah.
Because when you were saying that, I was thinking, I remember that. That's the promo I was thinking of, not that one. So that's why it made me think, wow, that's very... And that was... last Monday, so that was 2 nights before. I'm not saying they did this as like, we're gonna say that, but in our own way. But I'm just saying,
I think similar in terms of like the family and the what do you care about more thing.
Right,
I think
right.
I think the MJF and Danielson thing is more about like if you get injured again,
it's an injury thing versus hey, you have to spend time on the road, be away from
right.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, and also you're. you have a responsibility as a father and a husband. So if you get one more concussion, you might not be able to fill, like, that's selfish you that you won't be able to fill that role.
Yeah, no, there's a big difference there.
But definitely, I didn't think it interesting that there is a little bit of
when you were saying that, I was like, oh, I remember that, but I was like, wait, I didn't watch it, and then okay. I'm sure tonight on Dynamite, because again, this is on a Wednesday, right. They have to have a one last like face-to-face 10-15 minute just fucking Oh, you know what I watched last night? So I was just about to go to bed. I just put on clips on YouTube, and I rewatched the very first time that MJF and CM Punk went face-to-face in the first promo battle they had.
Whoa. Woo! I gotta like rewatch all of that.
I'll be honest with you. When the video started, that crowd was going crazy for CM Punk. I'm just telling you something. And we're getting a little off topic. If CM Punk actually did return to AEW,
he's gotta.
Bro, that is going to be it's going to be nuts.
He's gotta.
It's going to be nuts. Because it was the whole when he returned the first time around, it was kind of worst kept secret. You knew it was happening. Now, it's kind of like you really don't know if he's coming back.
They basically just have a card to just do it again.
Literally. So if they actually pull that off, that would be that would be crazy. But yeah, I think MJF, Danielson, over the last few weeks, they've made this match feel, more anticipated. And I believe after tonight as well, I'm sure they'll have another face-off. It'll add to it, and I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be fantastic.
So I can really see Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah, you didn't even make your pick. My bad. I mean,
no. I can really see Bryan Danielson winning this because he's one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Has not held championship gold in AEW yet.
Has not,
and he's an AEW champion. Like he's cut from the same cloth as Mox and Hangman.
Oh
like
my God.
You know what I mean? Like it. And it feels like, and again, I hate saying this because it's proving MJF's promo right. It feels like they've run out of, it feels like they're on, I was going to say run out of steam, but it feels like they're on fumes with the MJF title run. It's not as exciting. A Danielson win would be huge. I don't think the title necessarily needs like a injection of something new. Like I don't think it's to that point of like the AEW title's in the trash. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Danielson as a champion, A, makes sense. B, makes sense for Danielson to win a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Right.
And like I said, then it puts MJF back in the position where he's better at being against the wall or being the chaser.
And we've talked about that where his time as chasing the belt seems like that was much
his
better
title
than
run
him.
is probably, I mean, granted, grain of salt. He's only had that one defense against Ricky,
and he's doing everything he said he was going to do.
He's doing everything he said he was going to do. He's still great on the mic. However, so far it's the worst title run.
Yeah, and so you were talking about injections. I think the injection has to be him defending this belt and putting on a banger, and then moving forward.
And that's why, again, with all of that said, I think Danielson's going to have his time. Danielson is going to be the AEW World Champion.
He will be one day.
I think, like you said, basically with what I said, but everything with you said makes a little more sense. I think I like MJF as a champion. I want to see him. If he lost now, they'd be cutting it short. And like you said, the first defense, I think we have yet to see prime MJF champion.
Yep.
So I
agree.
So with all that said of me hyping up Bryan Danielson, I'm going MJF.
And also, like, we have to keep in mind how this whole thing started. The whole contract runs out at the end of this year. If they're still running with that story, I think the reign is going to pick up. I think he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do as champ.
Barely wrestle,
barely show up, and he's killing it in that sense. I think this match may start picking things up. Maybe summertime rolls around and Tony Khan's like, I'm sick of you not showing up. You got to be around more. And then the reign really starts to go. And then towards the end of the year, we see the big blow, whatever it may be. I don't think Danielson's the guy to take the belt off MJF. I agree with one day Danielson should be, and I think will be AEW World Champion. I don't think he's the guy. I think there's someone else that deserve. I'm not saying I have that person in mind, but I believe that there is another person that probably should take the belt off him that isn't Danielson. Who that person is, I don't know yet, but not Danielson.
I had something in mind. Oh, I mean, just real unfortunate timing that this MJF title run is during one of the biggest and most impressive storylines in WWE history in the past, like, 10 to 20 years.
And hopefully, it's like that's maybe post Mania.
Right.
People will start to give it more focus and stuff because the Bloodline's Roman's reign might come to an end. So, we'll see what that does for him. But that's predictions. We have the same picks
I was
except for the tag team match, unless.
With that said, I think I am gonna. This could screw me over. But I think I don't want to do this.
I think that you did good with the tag team match. So if you swap it here, I think you have a much safer pick for the tag team match than I do.
Yeah, because the champion's gonna come down to. We could also just tie this.
We could,
because like the Acclaim could win and then we just tie.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
See. Yeah, we'll just see what happens.
All right, if you're willing to put it all on the line for the Guns versus the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and whatever.
Hey, it's your predictions, bro. You.
All right. I'm rolling.
You're sticking with Jamie?
I'm gonna stick with Jamie.
Okay, so our predictions. I'm just gonna read them for both of us.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So
we have the same exact notes.
We both have Ricky Starks beating Jericho, Adam Page beating Moxley, Samoa Joe beating Wardlow, the Elite beating House of Black, Jamie Hayter defeating Ruby Soho and Saraya. I have Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal winning the tag team belts. You have the Guns. Could be the Acclaimed, could be the Mystery Fourth team. And we both have MJF beating Danielson.
Maybe we'll figure this out behind the scenes, but I don't know why I'm saying this on camera. But maybe we figure it out because when there's something on the line for the predictions, we both go way safer.
We do go way safer.
But if there's nothing like, if there's no title implications on the line for the predictions, then like I'm throwing out Ruby, I'm throwing out fucking, you know what I mean?
I know there's a lot on the line here.
So that's why we gotta play it a little safer. We'll figure it out. But it is fun to, but then that adds a lot to the prediction. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let us know in the comments what you want to do. If you
some ideas you have.
If you like the predictions stuff having implications for the title, maybe there should just be a separate title for the predictions. There's been rumors of that going around.
That wouldn't be bad.
And they have, we might have to split the belts. We have to
cut it in half. Remember Lay Cool, Michelle McCool, and
yeah,
cut belt in half. Yeah,
they should do that.
We should. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe they'll do that for the Becky, Lita, and Trish match. They cut it into thirds.
Ooh, yeah.
Or I guess that's 2 titles, so they cut 1 in half. I don't know.
WWE will figure it out.
I don't know.
That's not our job.
Yeah, I'm just the ideas man here. All right. Well. With that said, that is an episode.
Oh my God, an hour 22. Holy shit.
Yeah, we went a little bit. We went a little bit today.
Hope you guys like long episodes because you are getting one.
They do. Apparently they do.
Don't mind it.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 16 of the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. And as is tradition, at the end of the episode, if you want to watch the audio, if you want to listen to the audio only version, listen to that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Also forgot to say, Stache Club Wrestling presented by ClutchPoints. That should have been at the beginning. Episode 16. We're still, we're still figuring it, still figuring it out.
We're doing good so far.
It's all work in progress.
It's all work in progress.
You can follow me at Raspy Taylor on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube.
You can follow me on Twitter at Dante and Deck or Dante Toro /DanteToro11 everywhere else. And you can follow Stache Club on Instagram and Twitter at Stache Club W for updates, we post, reels, hype videos for when videos come out, all that stuff.
Consider becoming a member of the channel. You get a bunch of exclusive emojis and all of that you can use in the live chats. All our videos are live chats, our premieres. So, except for the podcast, because that would be kind of silly. It'd be a lot.
Crazy.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know if that would work out. Anyway.
If someone wants to sit through a live premiere of the podcast, you're one of our biggest fans. That's for damn sure.
I think that is it. We have yet to hit one of these.
We haven't. Boom. There we go. Feels good.
Bring us out of here.
Go Sonics.